Hello people, this is Ryder here to review the Power Rangers Dino Fury Gold Fury Blade Blaster. Yeah, for the first Power Rangers toy in the main line for 2023, we finally get the Gold Rangers Morpher. So obviously you guys don't know. Obviously originally Dino Fury was supposed to be the last series and Hasbro was just done, but then because of how late in conceptualization Cosmic Fury was, they had to put out product in some way. So basically, this wave of the first year of 2023 is just basically comprised of, hey, let's just release things we never did. And this was one of the things, the Gold Fury Blade Blaster, or I think it's just, I don't know, as of now, I don't know the names of each individual item, just because obviously I haven't seen Dino Fury. But, like, alongside with this, we got the Dimetro Sword, or the Dimetro Zord, and, like, practically just those two things. Anyways, I really like the box for this. It's kind of similar to the box that was for the Striker Morpher Blaster, but unlike that, this is not a Nerf toy, because as you can see from here, it says 20 plus sounds. It comes with two AAA batteries. We got a nice picture of Dino Fury Gold with the, I don't know what this is called. We do have a Dino Fury key included. It's just down here. This is plastic free packaging, but this is like open packaging. I thought the two were combined here, but they are not. You can play with this. I'm not going to. Again, the side here, we get this nice art of gold yet again with the I generally don't know what's called. I don't know, I'll admit, this kind of looks weird, but I mean, at least the weapons are correct. And in the back, here we have this fearsome kid showing you how to play with the toy, to which I think they do a good job at showcasing it. Did I already show the bottom? Yeah. So let me get this open. Alright, so here we have the contents roughly out of the box. Because this thing can't stand, so we will take a look at this after. We will actually take a look at the, I don't know what this is called. The Gold Fury Saber? The Gold Fury Blade? It's not the Mulsa Blade for sure, but, yeah. Obviously, as you can tell from here, it's been heavily downsized. But, I don't mind it, though, because it's still a dagger. It's literally, like, now a dagger size. But, I mean, like, it still has the majority of the details that are necessary from the Japanese one. Like, it's just that now this is a sticker. And it still has the functionality of, like, pumping this, and like I think this is like a really nice length, honestly. And they actually have the silhouette for putting in a Dino Fury key, so like you can literally just take your Dino Fury key and just wrongly slot it in. But like, I mean, the fact they actually put this into consideration is pretty neat, and it's a pretty nice like connection. But a comparison with the Mosa blade. The thing too is that just because of how this works, they put the screws on the side that you would actually want it to be, like facing this. But so yeah, it's definitely smaller, but I mean, I think they did a pretty fine job. The only issue is that, like, even the blade is, like, kind of slightly playable, but the only issue is that they, for some reason, They flipped the logo for some reason. I don't get it. But other than that, like, it's not wrong here. They only flipped it here. I get what they were trying to go for, just so then they're both the same, but it's not accurate. But other than that, I think this is a fine dagger. Other than that, there goes, who was that? That was Wendy. Here we have the Gold Fury Blaster, or the Gold Fury Morpher. I literally need to look at these names. They don't say these out of mouth. Yeah, obviously it's downsized, obviously, but yeah, it doesn't look great. I'm not even, like, obviously I'm not too upset of this just because of laws, and this is transparent now. Like, I mean, like, from what we covered, obviously, this thing doesn't have a lot of paint to begin with, but, like, this thing just doesn't have, it just doesn't have gold anymore. And, like, this is kind of a weird, like, I don't know, this is like a weird shade of gold. This is not even like gold, it's like golden orange. But I mean, I guess it works with the muzzle. But I don't know, it just looks kind of weird. And like, there's no white, obviously. These are a lot more flimsier now. But I mean, at least the good thing is that they at least stay. It's just that now you can't stand it. As you can see, this doesn't even have the post anymore. But I mean, like, I think it's an alright size overall. And as you can see from here, the slot is significantly smaller. But I mean, like, and there's no on and off switch, obviously, so I won't go through the sounds, but there's the copyright, same place as the Japanese version. And then I think this is again flipped. And this doesn't move, obviously, so. Again, comparison with the Japanese one. Obviously I'm not gonna mind the different shades. It's just more, yeah. So again, for some reason this is flipped, but they got it correct here. I don't get it. Like, I don't get why they keep reversing these. I don't know. I think just the white being gone is like kind of my only gripe. Because, like, I get them not putting the gold here. Obviously, we weren't going to get this. And I think for what they did in this section, kind of helps actually add color to it. I get that it makes it look cheaper. But, like, we'll get through that. And surprisingly, they actually put the speaker in the same place as the Japanese version. It's just that now you can actually see the speaker hole. So, yeah. You know, what is this? Other than that, like, there's not really much to compare. I think Hasbro did a pretty nice job at having to take this and make it their own in some way by, you know, accommodating for safety standards and just laws and just cheapening it out. So, yeah. So here's our least favorite part of this. Here's the Dino Fury key. So obviously from the front here, it's just your standard sticker. until you flip it around. What the heck happened to it? Because if we take a look at the one that came in the basic figure, like, what happened? Like, there's no more red, and like, they added this random green to it for some reason. I don't get it. And like, it's not even the same color as this, because I thought like, oh, maybe this gold is casted from this. It's not. And I guess to like make this more, or lose more credit, here's a comparison with the Russo itself. Like, man, this is just bad. Like, yeah, the heads have more prominence, but like, I don't know, again, like, Hasbro just carries some of the weirdest aspects. Like, they carried this, but like, obviously this has no bulk. And then just, I don't know. I mean, they at least tried, but we're gonna get this out of the way. Just Dino Fury Morpher compatibility, obviously, with these pins here. Obviously, it will do lightning sounds. Obviously, it's the same jingle, so if you were to do some attacks, you can do light and heavy attacks. No ejection sound. Alright, so obviously to activate this thing, just you can either turn the head, because you can still turn the head, or just press the trigger. So we get this cool light animation of, not necessarily animation, of just the light going through the barrel. And then you can hold down the trigger. It doesn't change anything because the growls or the roars are just cycle through 3. And then if you were to wait this out, I really do like how it transitions from like a red to an orange LED. So then it just turns itself off. And then if you were to turn the head, you get that sound, and then it just glows or pulsates, and then the firing is still the same. Which it's the same firing just without the roar. Which is pretty neat. It's pretty neat that they actually kind of made it matter which position the head is in. And we will show this already just because it actually does do things. This thing actually does do things without a key. So obviously, unlike the Japanese version, you just simply slide it in, which I actually kind of like more. So you just simply slot the Mosa blade, or the blade into the slot like so. And then you get that sound to create the Gold Fury Blade Blaster. Why did I struggle saying that? And then if you were to just shoot, so I'm pretty sure those are still the same. Yeah, so those are the same, but it's really interesting that when you hold down the trigger, it cycles through each 3 of those. And then you don't have to take this off to change modes, you can just you can change them right away. You can change them right away to you can change this right away to get those sounds. And then just to take it off, just simply slide it off. Yeah. So we will wait for this to deactivate itself to then get to the transformation of the morphine. As basically, what you're gonna do is that you're gonna take your Dino Fury key, flip it around, and then you're gonna slot it into the slot that's specifically made for this key, because they've only cut a space out for these two gaps, which is really weird. I'm gonna not show this correctly because I want to show this in phases, so I'm gonna only press it about halfway through, like so. So there we get the transformation sound technically, and then we get a BGM track, 1 of 3. So this is the second one, because this is not playing in order for some reason, which is annoying. And just like the Dynamite Morpher, you can just press the trigger to have sounds overlap. And then you can hold that. And then when that like dies out, you can, just for the sake of this, I'll show the individual sounds. So that's the singular shot, and then when you hold down the trigger, so you get lightning sounds from that. And the thing too is that you can obviously change that. It's just that now the Mosasaurus is roaring. And then to show the actual full transformation, you just simply slot the key in and press it down fully. To which, I don't know what... The cycle here is more random, honestly. Because I kind of wish there was an easier way of resetting the toy without having to take out the batteries, but... Anyways... That's a neat, secret sound. Once in a while, when the head is flipped onto the Mosasaurus, it will actually snore, which is pretty neat. So again, hopefully this will actually properly this will properly play the right BGM track. Alright, it is. Okay, so this is the like standard one, basically like traditional morph. And then you can actually insert the Gold Fury blade to get a new sound set. Because as you hold down the button, you can hear saw sounds. So I think that's actually cool that they incorporated, like, there are sounds technically for this thing. Like, I like that they actually did think about it instead of just doing like generic sounds. They actually thought things through. I really appreciate that a lot. And then just to show, you can transform with this thing, and hopefully we get the last BGM track. And actually, just to show, obviously this is the exact same, so obviously it'll work. Yep, okay. This one's interesting because it has like noises, like like the noises you would typically hear from like the Vengex robots. But this one's probably one of my favorites too. But like, so yeah, basically, yeah. So this is basically the more like accurate looking, uh, Gold Fury Blade Blaster you can form and such. And I did not know it actually snored on that side too. It's technically not supposed to, but that's basically it for this toy. That's like the basic gist of this toy. That's a summary of what this thing can do. To which I didn't really show much of, sadly. Basically, if you actually want to hear the BGM tracks without me speaking over them, watch the demo. I heavily apologize for just kind of going through this, not actually thinking. But, yeah, like, again, to explain the play pattern, obviously, you basically have two modes. You can fire with the Mosasaurus Roar, or you cannot fire with the Mosasaurus mode. You can play with this thing with either head, and then and then when you insert a Dino Fury key, you get additional, sounds. To which, again, because I really appreciate how that they actually thought this through, because obviously, like what we said, when you attach this thing, it has saw sounds. It has sounds associated with this. With this, when you insert a key, even though it's not the right key, it will have sounds of the blaze armor, not the blaze, the whatever, what electro dino key. It'll have sounds associated with that one and such, which I think it's cool. It's like, okay, yes, like I think the weakest thing of this is the appearance of the Gold Fury blaster itself. This is probably the best piece to come out of the entire set. However, I feel like just the appearance shouldn't like scare you away from like just how fun this toy is. It's not as complicated as the Dino Knight Morpher, but it's not as comprehensive as the Dino Knight Morpher, because that Dino Knight Morpher has like 12 BGM tracks. This one only has 3, but I still feel like it's pretty good, and like it's a nice substitution of the Mosa Changer. It's just one that actually has like it's actually kind of nice that it still basically carries those same like functions, but just does it they just handled it their own way. So I definitely do like have to pull out Hasbro for just how they handle all the other like Dino Fury morphers after this atrocity. Because I think like that's the thing, like the Dino Knight morpher looks fine appearance wise, but the functionality is just weird. But then, like, you get the Dino Knight morpher, and then you get this morpher that do pretty good jobs at, like, just basically being, like, good substitutions, or, like, adding more to what the original Japanese counterpart was. Like, I mean, the Dino Knight morpher took more of a liberty. It expanded on, basically, the gist of, like, inserting specific rear souls, and just went with, like, put it up, put it down, or, like, put it straight. I have to at least appreciate too that this isn't a Nerf gun. I'm happy this is just a normal basic roleplay toy. Like I appreciate that a lot. And I appreciate that this isn't like motion sensor at all, because honestly I'm getting pretty tired of those. So I'm just glad that Hasbro just did a basic like, hey, here's 2 weapons. Here's like If you by itself, you get like 2 sounds with each head, and then when you use a key, you get sounds. You get 2 more additional attack sounds if you use this, but then not the key. Then you get like, there's like so much you can do with this thing. Like, yeah, people are gonna not like it, but I feel like not enough people are like actually giving this thing credit for still being a decent toy. Because honestly, yeah, if I was a kid, I would rather have this over this, just because yeah, this thing is like would look good on your hand, but it's just so boring because all you do is just insert the key and then like you rotate it, and then like you don't even have a like. I know that's technically the thing with the Hasbro stuff. They don't technically have morph sounds. Or at least the Dino Fury toys don't have morph sounds technically. But like I don't know. I feel like the Dino Fury morpher kind of did the worst. So, and the thing too is the price is kind of steep. This is $33. Because I mean, like I think this and the Dino Knight morpher were also 30 respectively. But I feel like for $10 less than both the Mosa Changer and the Mosa Blade, I feel like you're getting a pretty good deal. Obviously you're not getting 3 rear souls. You're just getting this thing. Like, so obviously you're losing out on this. But like other than that, like I feel like Hasbro did a good job at taking the core functions of mostly the Mosa Changer and making it their own thing. And it's more of just this thing is just a nice bonus and such. And I'm kind of glad that like they actually decided just to make this thing as close as they can, because again, I do think the biggest issue is that this thing does like look like a basic roleplay item, despite the fact you are paying $33. So I don't know how they would have, but I would have liked if they at least just touched up on something. But again, I get it. You have to accommodate for this. I'm pretty sure if this thing was excluded, then this probably would have had details. But yeah, like I genuinely don't think this is a bad toy. Like this thing is really solid overall, and it's just nice. Like it is kind of annoying that like you don't have an option to like when you insert the key to like just have these down, but that's why like what I said, just don't put it in all the way. And again, it's also just really weird that they basically only restrict you to have the only insert keys that are of these 2 pins. So I think you can only put in red and blues keys. Everyone else is excluded, which is it's weird that I don't know why they bothered. like like they might as well should have just filled out that other slot, or just made I get it's probably for securance, but I don't know, it's really weird. But other than that, it's a pretty good toy. And I'm really glad they actually finally did this. It actually kind of made it worth, like, for them to actually do this 2 years within Dino Fury, it actually feels worth it, honestly. And I know it's weird to praise such a toy, but like, again, I feel like Hasbro's really strong at the morphers to an extent. But like, I really hope Cosmic Fury can hold the same quality that the Dino Knight morpher and this morpher in terms of sounds. But like, keep like the functionality and gimmick from Beast morphers. I feel like that's like the perfect like combination. sound the sound design, I guess, from the Dynamite Morpher and this Morpher, but the functionality and gimmicks, like the handling of gimmicks and just functions from Beast Morphers. I think that's like definitely what Cosmic Fury needs. Especially if we're going to get Cosmic Fury toys after the show. So, yeah.